Hey guys, THUNDERSTUD here, bringing you more Infernities. This time we're focusing on Infernity, Inferno. We're even going as far as to really tailor the deck around it. So what does that mean? We've cut back on Archfiend, we've cut back on Necromancer, we've cut back on Beetle, Avenger we have no choice, and we've gone over the top on Mirage. So why we do this is because Infernity, Inferno really lets you tailor what's in your graveyard. So we just want Mirages and Launchers as ways to special summon two monsters. We're going to special summon our Archfiend, make sure he's always in the graveyard, and then whatever tuner you want to play with. Hopefully if your duel's going well, since you do discard the cards from your hand, you can have multiple of your tuners or even a Necromancer in there to get some faster level 8 synchros. Works out really well. So we're still using 3-breaker, but we need some means to survive the first turn. So we're using Hollowed Life Barrier, and we're using Heat Wave. Now what Heat Wave does, people used to do this in the very early days of Dark Magician too. But this card can only be activated at the start of the main phase 1. Neither player can normal summon or special summon an effect monster until your next draw phase. So pretty crippling, stops you getting hit, but it doesn't really affect your first turn play. So it's a nice little stall to make sure you survive to get to your unfair second turns. So why are they unfair? Like I said, you throw your hand away, you tailor the graveyard exactly how you need it, and then you just use Mirages and Launchers. You just spam them with Archfiend special summoning, searching another launcher, doing a synchro, special summon him again, search another launcher, so on and so forth until your opponent has scooped, guys. But last but not least, we snuck in some Hatred Nades to really just be unfair. You wipe the back row, then you're just free to eat your enemy up. You can pretty much overcome anything. It's just endless synchros. The real trick is just surviving that first turn, not getting disrupted while you're doing your synchros. Still very strong, very, very strong deck. I really like these ratios, just one of everything. 3 Mirage, then straight to business. I really like these ratios. It's very strong. I'd probably prefer my Labyrinth Builder as for a competitive build, but as pure Infernities go, this is very, very nice. They're getting there, guys. We're going to wind up on a very strong form. Shout out, though, to our boy Cyhemoth. You'll notice I'm not using any Bryonic Dragon. I never thought I'd see the day where I had some 6s and no Bryonic Dragons. But really, Cyhemoth, he's MVP. You've seen me use him. I used to use him against Coctius. Now I'm using him against Witchcrafters. He's just all over the place, guys. He's a fantastic card, and people just don't expect his kind of removal. It's not target. Other than that, though, we'll just use him for level 8 synchros, and with Infernities, your hand's usually empty anyway, so you really don't want Bryonic Dragon. But it's sweet. It's right in there, guys. All the plays, some interesting Scrap Dragon plays. I'm sure, I think I got a little love. Works out great. Such an aggressive deck. But there are counters to it, like Necro Valley and just eating up the graveyard. So it's not too unfair. It's pretty fun stuff. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Alright, here's an Arcana. We're going first. Arcana likely means Witchcrafters. He's using Lava Golem and Gandora. Spell Specialist likely means he's not Witchcrafters, though, so we set our Mirage since we have another Mirage. But it is Witchcrafters. Joke's on me. So we get our Witchcrafter boys out here. He's using Gandora and Lava Golem because Witchcrafters are in fact Cancer. Don't let anyone fool you. But we're going to show this boy what we do with Cancer with Infernity here. So he's going to leave us a Mirage on the field. We don't need our Hatred Nade. We really want this Beetle in the graveyard. So we throw a Hatred Nade in the Beetle. We still have this silly Hatred Nade that we set. Normal summon 1 Mirage, guys. That's a special summon of a Beetle and an Archfiend. We could have summoned our Avenger and Archfiend, but we wanted to go with the Beetle. We're going to hit the 6. Here our boy stops our first launcher, but that's okay because we have another Mirage, guys. We go into a level 6 synchro of Cyhemoth, guys. I love this card so much. He's really taking it to these Witchcrafters. He was really the MVP in this deck. For the Witchcrafters, I never thought I would be so effective without Bryonic Dragon, guys. It's crazy how much I love Cyhemoth. Definitely try him out if you guys never have. He's old as dirt. He's a wonderful, wonderful card. You're about to see. But anyway, we used that other Mirage he left us to summon our Archfiend again, get his search going again. We already have another launcher. There's an Armades. Launcher into just our Archfiend. We have no room for other synchros, so we finish with a breaker, guys. Look at this. Threatening lethal. He tries to hurt us, but he does not have enough cards in his hand for lethal. All he does is 2400. We'll take that because Cyhemoth activates, banishes his monster. Here's Armades and Archfiend for lethal right over Witchcrafters. Thanks to Cyhemoth. Great, great stuff, guys. Alright, here's a Kaiba. We're going first. So we're starting off with Archfiend in hand and a launcher, so we essentially want to empty our hand just to the launcher. Here we have a Sage of Blue normal summoning. Not scared at all because he has another Sage with Eyes of Blue, I should say, to summon a defense mode Spirit of White. So that means he probably for sure has a Blue Eyes in his hand. We get to use our effect because we didn't set a thing, we didn't do a thing, guys. And he didn't swing at us, so we just let him. Now we throw away our hand, get our tuners in the graveyard, use our first launcher. That's an Archfiend and an Avenger. We get another launcher. That's an Armades. Now we get using the launcher we just searched, going for the Infernity Beetle this time with our Archfiend. Search another launcher. Now remember, he's only 2k, so he thinks, oh, we just have 2400 monsters and we're going to swing over him. This boy doesn't know what he's in for with our Cyhemoth. So here we finish off with our last launcher using our Archfiend, searching our barrier. So now we have a barrier and a break live, guys. Here our opponent, as we switch to the battle phase, he brings out a Blue Eyes, but we still have Cyhemoth waiting for him. Cyhemoth, banish the Blue Eyes. Armades swings and Archfiend finishes it. Very bread and butter play. Absolutely love Cyhemoth in this deck, guys. Can't shout him out enough. Great, great stuff. Alright, here we are facing Arcana, going second. Starting with a good hand, we have a Mirage and a Launcher and a Hollow Life Barrier to get us to survive. Here we're fighting just a generic Light Sworn. Mills out a tuner, a Levianeer, stuff like that. We're gonna just set our Hollow Life Barrier, use it in the draw phase, just so we don't get hit by some random Night Beam or something that would really mess us up. Here he goes, Fortune Lady Every. Not sure why defense, it was the third turn, but I guess he didn't want to swing. So we Nade his back row. Now we're gonna Inferno. We throw our Archfiend and our Beetle. We're going level 2 style this time, we don't want the Avenger. So, we're going right into a launcher from our first Archfiend search. That's Archfiend's Call because we're likely going to go into a Scrap Dragon play here. So we're going with Infernity Launcher because Scrap Dragon is good removal that can swing after he removes. So that's probably why I went for the level 2. Now, we get our Archfiend search again. That's our Infernity Launcher. This time, we got rid of the Archfiend's Call. Now we destroyed our Archfiend with the Scrap Dragon. So the Scrap Dragon destroyed the Archfiend we left on the field, destroyed the Fortune Lady Every obviously, and now we use the launcher to bring the Archfiend and the Beetle right back, searching another launcher, causing our opponent to scoop. Great, great stuff, guys. Alright, here we are facing a Jaden. Going second. Takes forever, because you have to wait for your second turn for the skill, and you have to do it on your second turn. You can't do it on like your third or fourth turn. It's weird, I've been running into a lot of 6 Samurai lately. It's weird to see them still floating around. But all we're gonna do is set a 2k monster and pass our turn. Our opponent doesn't even want to hit us. That means he probably has a dual wield. So we're gonna Hatronade that dual wield out of here so we don't get disrupted at all. And now with a monster, no way to disrupt us, we're really just going to eat him alive. We throw away all the monsters we need. We had 2 launchers in hand, guys. So we threw away 2 traps. We had an Avenger and our Archfiend. So we only have 1 tuner in there. It's going to be a little tricky, but we're going to find a way, guys. We flip up the Necromancer we had face down. That's 3 plus 4 plus 1 for 8 from our Doom Dragon. Doom Dragon destroys the Kizaru, doing a bit of damage. Then we use our first launcher to bring out our Archfiend and our Avenger. We go right into a barrier, guys, because we're just going to synchro here, get our Vermilion Dragon mech, launcher one more time, then we're going to synchro, search again, all that great stuff, guys, but opponent didn't want to see it, and he scoops. Great stuff. Alright, here we are fighting a Zayn. We're going second. Our boy is trying to rank up, poor guy. So a pretty good hand. We have our Archfiend, some breaks. We want to essentially just keep the Mirage. All you want in your hand are Mirages and launchers. Everything else can be thrown away. And then you want your Archfiend in your graveyard, obviously, and then one tuner. So here, we set our Archfiend. Our boy's going to overflow it. We used our Heat Wave though, guys, so he can't summon anything. Has to pass his turn, and that means we're going to eat him up. No Hey-Trunade, but we're just going to power through this. So we discard 2 breakers. We throw both our tuners because our Archfiend is already in the graveyard. So when both our tuners are in the graveyard, we're really going to pop off. We start with the Mirage. We already have 1 launcher. We have our Archfiend summoned. Search a second launcher. Go into a 6 synchro. That's our Archfiend's Call. Can't be targeted. Now we go with the first launcher. That's Archfiend again. And Avenger. That's another search. That's our 3rd launcher. Opponent didn't want to see it though. And he scoops. Great stuff. So that's what it is, guys. Survive the first turn by any means necessary. And then just spam so many synchros. And after you spam the synchros, I usually get it left with a face-up Archfiend and a barrier on the field. So it's just absolutely terrifying stuff once you get to that point. But you still gotta avoid Necro Valley. You gotta avoid things like Evil Eye. Believe it or not, Evil Eye can start banishing cards from your graveyard and really mess you up. Furhire's Dinah, as you saw, can banish a bunch of monsters from your graveyard. So there are ways around it. It's not too overpowered. Hopefully Konami lets us play with 3 launcher and 3 Archfiend for a while. But we'll see. Till then,